welcome to the Liberty Mike podcast, broadcasting from an undisclosed location in the heart of Dixie. I am Michael, and I'm here with Liberty Larry.
How's it going?
Doing all right. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm here.
Yeah, well, that's a start.
That is a start.
Yeah. It's better than better than we did last week.
Better than last week. Yeah. Not that this week has been much better for me, but
yeah, I'll be honest, I'm just having a hard time getting motivated for this.
yeah. Well,
It's just, yeah. Like we were saying the other night, like I feel like the news is just a same thing
it's a loop.
over and over. Yeah, exactly. It's like the Iran war particularly. Trump claims there's a ceasefire deal. It'll be signed any moment.
Mm-hmm.
Trump claims Iran broke the ceasefire deal. We're going to destroy their civilization.
Yeah.
Missiles are exchanged. Trump claims there's a ceasefire deal. It'll be signed any moment. And we just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Meanwhile,
this may be the story of his presidency. Like, he may end his presidency in the same loop.
yeah, it could be. The really interesting thing is Iran has pretty much been saying the same thing for a little while now, which is, yeah, we're not negotiating with this guy.
Yeah. I mean, can you blame them? Like,
Not at all.
I mean, not trying to take their side. I'm not. I mean that seriously. Like, I'm not like a parader for Iran, but like, I mean, look at our policy.
Yeah.
And just take any other rational person that was trying to deal with that policy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is we complained about it bitterly when we dropped those bombs on the nuclear sites a year ago.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how long now.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
And we said this is going to have this is going to ripple through diplomacy because we were literally in negotiations about the nuclear program when we decided to drop bombs.
Yeah.
And you know, like I was talking with some friends. Actually, you were there. I was talking with some friends the other night. Or maybe this was last night. I can't remember. Anyway, like I understand if you're already at war,
Yeah.
dropping bombs while you're negotiating.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to pause the war just to negotiate
Yeah.
in most
Unless,
situations.
well, unless both sides agree, and that's a whole nother dynamic.
Yeah. So, for example, I understand why Russia would refuse to stop prosecuting the war while they're negotiating, which was for a long time one of Ukraine's absolute demands to negotiate,
Yeah.
is that we have a complete ceasefire in the meantime.
Yeah.
Russia's looking at it and saying, oh, that's so that you can rearm and regroup.
Yeah. You want to take a breath and then start back.
Yeah. And we just don't trust you. Okay, I get that. But I understand why you would negotiate while you're still dropping bombs. While you're still dropping bombs.
Yeah.
Not that you start dropping bombs while you're negotiating about what we need to do to not start dropping bombs.
Yeah. Right.
Which is what we did. Twice.
Twice. Yeah. Both times with Iran, we've pulled that stunt.
And so, yeah, why would anybody trust negotiations with the United States?
Yeah.
At least under this president.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say, generally speaking, that's probably a good policy, is to not trust negotiations with the United States.
Yeah.
But at least historically, we have handled diplomacy with at least like a measure of honor.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so...
Well, and that's part of being the superpower is you're supposed to conduct yourself with a little more honor than the people you're against.
Yeah.
You know, I just haven't seen that from us, at least.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's where we are. And in fact, that's the stories that I have tonight are illustrating that.
Yeah.
Maybe this is part of it too. Is just, man, like what we're talking about is depressing me.
Yeah.
It's making me feel bad about my country in some ways that I don't like to feel bad about my country. Now, I'm always going to be critical of the government.
Of our government, yeah.
Yeah.
Any government, for that matter.
Exactly. Ours particularly, because I feel like I can maybe have some influence on what that government becomes.
Yeah.
But and I suppose this is really no different, but but there's an aspect to it of cheerleading from the populace that bothers me, that I'm seeing a lot of,
Yeah.
right? So, okay. And some of it's just like complete apathy.
Yeah.
Which is a problem of its own. I guess like one of my problems with people in general, like something that kind of gets me down and that I criticize in people, is just generally having no regard for others.
Yeah.
This is a problem that I have when I'm driving, when I'm passing people on the sidewalk or dealing with people in a store or anything. It's like just the general disregard for other people.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, maybe it's because I've kind of had the week I've had, but like there's so much of that. And it cuts both ways. There's plenty of good people and there's plenty of people that are good people, but just don't seem to have like this radar for people around them. Like that's kind of how I look at it. Like there's so many people that just wander around and they're not necessarily bad people, but they just have no recollection of the people around them at all.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No consideration.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw a quote. I think it was this week that I saw it. I don't remember it exactly, and I certainly don't remember who it was from. But they said something like, the perfect society is one where everybody affords to others the rights that they claim for themselves.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, getting into the news stuff.
Yeah.
Or we could complain about banks like we were doing before.
Man, I could go on about some banks.
We might come back around to that.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Yeah.
The first story I want to approach from this week, and this is the general disregard, like the apathetic American, about the Cuban energy embargo, or the U.S. energy embargo on Cuba, to be specific.
Which isn't getting a lot of play in the media. I mean, I have seen some stories on it, but just enough to know that it's going on.
Yeah.
Which is the reason I thought it'd be interesting for us to talk about it.
Absolutely. And this is, so about less than 2 weeks ago, I think, they had their 10th nationwide power failure in the last 2 years.
Wow.
All right. And of course, this is obviously a real problem for the average citizen. It disrupts businesses. It disrupts services. Their water system, their water supply was interrupted because of this.
Oh, wow.
You know, so now you got people that don't have electricity or fresh water.
Yeah. And like I say, we're in South Alabama here, and I know how hot it is here.
Yeah.
Like I can only imagine it's as bad or worse in Cuba.
Yeah. Well, the stories are that a bunch of people are sleeping outside on the coasts because they can't cool their homes.
Yeah.
So our energy embargo, because of this really just antipathy towards the government of Cuba, because Cuba's no threat to the United States.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Like there's no sense
They're not coming for Florida.
Yeah. There's no sense in putting our foot down on Cuba.
Yeah.
Because they can't do anything to us.
Yeah.
At the worst case scenario is that they're an outpost for some other enemy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help our case to make more of an enemy out of Cuba or put them in a position where they feel like they need outside help to survive.
Yeah. That only makes the situation worse for our goals.
Yeah. So as a nation, we have a policy of forcing suffering onto the citizens of this other nation because we don't like their government.
Yeah.
And I read that quote a couple of weeks ago that ended with greatness is not required of a nation, only goodness is.
Yeah.
Does that sound like the actions of a good nation?
No, not by any stretch.
And I don't know how you can, as a citizen here, ignore that or feel that it's okay. Because all we're doing is we're making already poor people suffer more.
Yeah. And it's not like those people don't know where that suffering's coming from.
Oh, exactly. Now you're just feeding the government propaganda against the U.S. that this is a result of our sanctions and embargo rather than the poorly executed government.
Yeah, and it was a few weeks ago. I don't remember exactly when, but Russia, I think they ended up sending a tanker there of oil, but we were at least threatening to like intercept that tanker and not allow it to come. From Russia. I don't know if I mentioned it was from Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
we
like,
did let the tanker through. It's the first one
in
we've
the-
allowed through in a while.
In the end, we let it through. But like, that's the type of thing that's like, like the Russians are here to help, but the Americans are like making this worse.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, come on. Like, who do we want to be in this scenario?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, who do we want to be in this scenario? Do we want to be the people that are relieving the suffering of the people in this nation, or the ones that are causing it?
Exactly.
And right now, we're the ones that are causing it.
Yeah, without question.
And that's not to give a pass to the Cuban government. Obviously, like it's a poor government. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But people were surviving better without our intervention than with it.
Well, exactly. Yeah. And I mean, if the government's doing that bad a job, it can collapse on its own. It doesn't need our help.
Yeah. I mean, it's somehow kept going for a long time.
It has. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, eventually it can't be supported anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, we never thought the Soviet Union was going to collapse the way it did.
Yeah. Yeah. That came more or less out of nowhere.
Yeah. From our perspective.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the inside, I think it was.
It was pretty, the writing had been on the wall for a while.
Yeah. But that's kind of the point, is that I just don't think that we have a right to tell other people how they should be governed.
Yeah.
And we don't have a right to force other people to suffer in order to get them to overturn their government.
Yeah.
If they want to overturn their government, let them do it on their own. Like, if you want to provide support to that, I'm opposed to that, frankly, too, but at least that's better.
Yeah. That is at least a step better. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is just a really bad situation for the Cubans, in an already bad situation. Like, you turned the island from a shanty town into a tent city.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a sense. That's just a,
Yeah.
what do you call it? Metaphor.
Yeah.
But but it's actually not far off, with people sleeping on docks and so forth, so that
Yeah.
they can keep
Outdoors.
cool.
Yeah. Right.
And you have to assume that there's probably a crime problem with the level of poverty that existed before, and especially exists now.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you create more poverty, you create more crime.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, that's just, there's got to be some kind of law of like physics that follows that. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, one just follows the other,
I'll look that up on the Mises website tomorrow.
I guarantee you they've got something that's got to be a thing.
And along the same lines, and going back to Trump and Iran, who knows in the end? Trump announced plans to bomb bridges and power plants in Iran. Now, whether he'll actually follow through on that
Yeah,
is an open question.
So the first time he threatened that, it was like a really big deal. It was like a lot of like shock and awe in the media, and whatnot. And now it just kind of passes without much to do.
Yeah.
Like nobody, which that's really what worries me, is that Trump, he's floated it and it got a big rise out of everybody. And then now he floats it and doesn't get a whole lot of rise. So he's like, well, maybe I'll just
do it.
Maybe
now.
I'll just go do it.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's that type of loose cannon that I could see him thinking that and be like, oh, screw it. Let's do
Nobody's
it.
paying attention anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there have been, of course, there were outcries of, well, that's a war crime, attacking civilian infrastructure. And then there were other people that were saying, well, technically.
We can use some novel legal theory to.
Well, no, not even. It just, the thing is that the whole war crimes issue is that if you can't, you can't attack civilian infrastructure unless you can show a legitimate military
use
value from it or whatever. And of course, so essentially any kind of communications, energy, or transportation is potentially a military target. So is like the rules about protecting civilian infrastructure really have no teeth at all.
Yeah.
Like they're meaningless.
Because all you have to do is make an argument for
that
why that bridge.
They would drive a Jeep across that bridge potentially,
Exactly.
And the energy from that power plant provides air conditioning to armed forces, or
Yeah.
who knows?
Exactly.
Right. So anything's kind of an excuse, which means that it's not really a rule at all. But this whole, well, technically it's not a war crime because they can make a claim that there's military uses for these things, and so we can bomb bridges and power plants and other infrastructure within Iran. And like this argument, I also heard this argument from the new guys at No Agenda.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, well, it's not technically a war crime, so it's okay. What?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not technically a war crime, so it's okay?
Yeah. That's some believe in the propaganda right there.
Yeah. I mean, technically correct is, of course, we all know the best kind of correct.
Fair enough, but it still doesn't make it right.
Yeah. But it's not moral either way.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know why, just because something's not technically a crime, you wouldn't call it immoral.
Yeah.
And
you can never,
especially coming from the right.
Yeah.
You're talking about people that are opposed to abortion and say that it's an incredibly immoral thing.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not technically a crime most places still.
Right. Yeah.
Or under most circumstances still. I guess it's like half and half with the states, but there's still a lot of circumstances where it's legal. But so does that make it moral?
You should never pull your morals from the government.
Yeah.
In any way.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's just not a good compass for morality.
Yeah. It's a good rule.
It is. I think it checks out.
Yeah. I think that people generally have a good instinct for what is moral and what isn't. They can rationalize to themselves, but I think that deep people kind of intuitively understand morality.
Absolutely.
And it would explain why the moral codes, they're different across cultures, but there's some core tenets that are pretty much
Standard.
Universal.
Yeah.
Now, most of the time, those core tenets only apply to that society itself, so you can do those same things to people outside your group,
yeah,
just not inside your group. I still think that it's immoral outside the group too, but maybe I have high standards. One of the things that I would come across really consistently was with religious people that I guess this is one of those things that, like, where do you think morality issues from?
Yeah.
And so a lot of religious people would say that morality issues from God, that God defines morality.
Yeah.
And so the argument that I would always present to them, because I think that this is something that I don't think that it's entirely cultural. I think that there is generally a pretty good understanding among people about what is moral and what isn't. There's differences around the edges, but the core is pretty consistent.
Yeah.
And I think that you can understand morality logically, and you can understand it as like the laws of nature, however you want to look at it, natural rights, all these different systems. But the one about, well, God defines morality is always one that really bothered me, because it took me into a place where I would think, so if you believed there was no God, there's no limits for you, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Like, if the morality is entirely defined by God's laws, if you came to believe that there was no God, you would feel that there would be no laws that applied to you. Is that correct?
Well, and you see that with people when they lose their faith, they do all of these things that they wouldn't normally do if they had their faith. And I'm with you. I mean, I am a man of faith, but at the same time, like I have this code that I would follow regardless.
Yeah. A lot of it with dealing with consideration of other people.
That's a big part of it. Like, I believe, like, that's just how I am. So, but there are a lot of people that I think that without that would not be the people they should be.
Yeah. Well, I used to always make this absurd argument, or absurdist argument, I guess you could say. Not really. That's a very specific term, actually, in philosophy. It doesn't apply here. Okay. Anyway, I used to say, so if it said in the Bible that it was okay to rape 8-year-old girls,
Yeah.
then you would feel that that's okay.
Yeah. Right.
I
Well,
mean,
obviously,
then it would be okay with you if the Bible said,
Yeah.
God said, this is actually part of culture, this is perfectly okay, this is just to be expected, that forced sexual intercourse with 8-year-olds, no problem.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't feel that that was immoral still.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's a good thing it doesn't say that, I guess.
Yeah, probably. I mean, because it was not unusual for the answer to be, then it would be okay. I mean, if that is the morality defined by God, then that's moral.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you have no internal sense that there's something wrong with that.
Right.
All right. Not my friend anymore. I am not hanging out with you anymore. I mean, but anyway, we've gotten way off track into morality.
Yeah. We kind of ended up here.
Yeah. So the point being, just because it's not a war crime doesn't mean that it's okay. That's really what I was getting at in the end. And that I think the goal is to be not a great nation, but a good nation. And that's just not the sign of a good nation. If we want to be a good nation, we have to be a good moral nation and go out of our way to protect people that aren't specifically involved.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And being the superpower, being the power that we are, we have the capability.
Yeah.
Like that's it's not like we're like struggling and scratching and we like need to steal these resources and we need to do this. We have everything we need. There's no imperative. It's not critical to our survival whether or not we attack Iran or not.
Yeah, exactly. Iran, again, was no threat to us here in the United States.
Yeah, yeah.
Could they threaten U.S. bases that are right there next to them? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But Iran was never in a position and never would be in a position where they could drop a nuclear-tipped ICBM on New York or something.
Yeah, they're just not capable. Even if they had the weapon that they don't have and have not had.
Yeah.
So...
Exactly. And so I think that that maybe we need to reassess what we want to be as a nation. Do we want to be a powerful nation or do we want to be a good nation?
Yeah.
You can do both.
Yeah.
But it seems like we have given up on one for the other.
Yeah. Yeah. And then this is just like the black pilled in me, but like it almost like one of the pages I follow had libertarian pages had asked today who we thought the next president would be. And so the comment section was overwhelming that it does, and I almost commented and I didn't, but that it doesn't really matter because we're going to end up in the same place regardless of who the person is that's in the presidency.
Yeah.
Like this thing only rolls one way. Mm-hmm. And as much as Trump was supposed to be different, he's worse of what we don't want. Like
he's another illustration of Tom Wood's law.
He is 100%.
Yeah. No matter who you vote for, you end up with John McCain.
Yep. Yeah. Actually, that was the quote I almost put in the comments section. I didn't. I was like, no, I'm just going to stay out of it. But that nails it. Like,
that is Wood's law, right?
That's Wood's law. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's Wood's. I'm like 90%. Yeah.
Because
Horton has law, one too. Yeah.
Horton's law is that no matter what a candidate says, once they're elected, they will uphold all their bad promises and ignore all their good ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is another very accurate line, unfortunately. So,
or something like that. I think it's probably said in
it's more eloquently put, but that's the gist of it. Yeah.
Anyway, that's really the things that I absolutely wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Here tonight is just like, man, come on, U.S., back off. We just don't need to control everything everywhere, and we certainly don't need to control it through military force and threats.
Yeah, which is all we have. I mean, I guess we do have.
We have economic power, but we use it as a weapon.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't use it to incentivize very much.
Yeah. Well, because the military's there for, we know we have
I mean,
that
that's
too.
why this blockade, this embargo has been so successful with Cuba, is because we have told all the other nations that if they give anything to Cuba, then we will sanction them too.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I
then
mean, otherwise it
everybody-
wouldn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so the U.S. won't trade with us. Well, you know, the Obama administration is the first time that the U.S. has traded with Cuba in decades
Yeah.
anyway. So we'll just go somewhere else again, like we did for decades.
Yeah.
And but the problem is that the U.S. hasn't just said, "Well, we're sanctioning Cuba and we're placing an embargo on Cuba." We have also said, and if anybody else trades with Cuba, then we're going to sanction you too.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
And
it
the
really-
U.S. is enough of a consumer, enough of an economic powerhouse that's a real threat to a lot of nations.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So,
What else? You want to talk about banks now? We may as well, right?
yeah. I mean, I don't have anything specific about banks other than they just suck, man. Like I've just had a,
Well, that was not helpful.
yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know if you had something.
Well, we were talking about all the requirements to manage your own money.
Oh yeah. So because that's what I'm dealing with right now is the company I work for is wanting me to send my personal information to their bank, and it just there's no reason for that. Like there's no reason that they need my driver's license and my information. I mean, I don't technically bank with them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just Dollar General banks with them. There's no reason that they need that type of thing. And our money's just like you don't have a whole lot of options when it comes to your money anyway. Like, I mean, most companies don't issue paper checks anymore. If you don't have a checking account, they give you some kind of little pay card deal.
Right.
That becomes that your de facto bank at that point.
Yeah.
Where you end up having to pay fees just to get your money out of the account that the company made for you to.
Because there's not enough paper in the entire United States to represent the amount of money that's been created. So
Oh, there's no. Yeah, you're right about that. Like, talk about a bank run. Like, I mean, you know.
Well, I was having an issue where I was paying some bills for my mom, and I wasn't permitted to pay bills without a power of attorney.
You couldn't.
I was like, you understand, I'm not asking for money. I'm trying to give you money to
Right.
clear this account. And they're like, yeah, we can't take it. And then the thing that triggered like all of this discussion was weeks ago. I was making a transfer of money from a credit union that, like a local credit union, to a bank, an account that I have at another bank.
Yeah.
And I had to fill out all this paperwork and prove that I owned the account at the other bank.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, no, hang on. So I have an account with you
Yeah.
with my money in it, right? My money, it is still my money, right? And they're
Barely.
like, yes, it's still your money.
Barely.
It's like, okay, so I have an account with you with my money in it. I have proven to you that I am the owner of this account.
Yeah. That's not in dispute.
Yeah. And I want to move that money to another account.
Yeah.
Why should I have to prove who owns the other account?
Yeah, it doesn't
it's
matter.
my money,
Yeah, it
and I
doesn't
just
matter.
want it to go to this account. So what does it matter to you?
And I can just hear them trying to make the argument of, well, this is for your protection and blah, blah.
Well, of course, that's exactly.
Explain to me how this is for my protection when it's my money to begin with.
Yeah.
And we've established that I am me.
Yeah. If I make a mistake and send it to the wrong account, that's my problem.
Exactly. Man.
So, and the truth is that I understand that it's all this know your customer crap
It is.
that's been pushed down onto the banks from the federal government as a reaction to 9/11.
Yeah.
Now, the idea, of course, is that, well, you know, the know your customer is to make sure that, you know, we're not funding terrorists and so forth. But the truth is, it's just to track where you put your money.
It's all about control.
Yeah. We just want to know where you're moving your money to.
Yep. So we know if we need to tax it or not.
Well, yeah,
That's
probably.
only one part of that, but that is a part of that.
Yeah.
But it's all about control. It's at the end of the day. I mean, We-
I almost closed my account. That's actually one of the reasons that I have an account with them is because I'd closed an account at another bank
Yeah.
because of that kind of crap.
Yeah. And
Where
it's-
they were fighting with me about what I was going to do with my own money.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, once again I got into a fight with one of the banks over the same type deal, and I did end up closing that account because, like, I didn't. It was an account where I just had money kind of parked, and so it wasn't a whole lot of transactions through it, and they were going to start charging me. I think it was like $5 a month to just have the account there, and I'm like. There's no way. Like, I'm not doing this. Like, I ended up making them give me the money in the account, which was not an unsubstantial amount of money at that time, like in cash. I was like, I'm closing the account. And they're like, okay, we'll just transfer. No, you won't. You'll transfer it into my hand.
Yeah.
And I literally drove the money to another bank and opened an account.
Yeah.
That was not going to charge me $5 a month.
Yeah.
Like,
That's kind of what I did. It was the same kind of thing. I was trying to move. I was trying to get money so that I could make a large purchase.
yeah.
And I wanted to make that purchase in cash,
Yeah.
which the bank on the other end didn't like either, by the way. They
Yeah.
were like really unhappy about that too. But what my bank had told me was, well, we can give you a cashier's check.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
And they said, that'll be $10. I was like, no.
No, it won't.
You can't give me no options and then charge me for that.
Yeah. Charge me for the option that you want me to take anyway.
Yeah, exactly. You tell me you can't give me cash,
Yeah.
and then you say, but we can do a cashier's check instead. All right, cool. That'll be $10. No, wait a minute.
No.
What's the charge for me getting it in cash? Nothing. Then I want it in cash.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and
Like, you can waive the fee for the cashier's check if it's really that important to you.
Yeah, yeah. One way or the other, I'm walking out with my money though.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah, well, that's where I was at. Yeah, because they tried to give me a bunch of headache. Well, and the thing was they were like, "Well, we don't know if we've got that much money in the house right now."
That's what they told me too.
And I'm
They
like-
told me to come back later in the day.
I'm like, "Are you kidding? You're a bank. Like, this is still a bank, right? Like,
Yeah.
you have money. There's not, and it was a lot of money, but it wasn't that much money.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like clean the bank out money.
Yeah, no, mine was the same thing. It was like $15,000.
Yeah, that's the neighborhood
Like
I was in.
$15,000. This is like a fairly substantial community here, and I know that there's a bunch of other banks. But my goodness, I know you have a bunch of accounts here. You don't have $15,000 here. You
Yeah.
don't have $15,000. That's insane.
Yeah. And the truth is that they probably don't because because they did cash me out that day,
Mm-hmm.
and when they did, it got down to pretty small bills in the end.
Yeah.
Now I think some of that was just to try to piss me off. Not that not that they hadn't already achieved that,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I mean, it did get down to small money, and this was late in the day, as I
Yeah.
remember too. It was about an hour or so before they closed.
Well, I got $100 bills, but they made me come back later in the day to do it.
Really? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, they weren't making me come. I was already later in the day there, and yeah, I was either leaving with my money or in a cop car. Like it was,
Now, I went
it
in
was to that point.
I went in at like 11 in the morning. They made me come back at 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they did give me my cash when I came back at 3. So
yeah.
yeah.
That's just crazy.
And then I closed the account entirely.
Yeah. Yeah. I did the same thing. I was like, I can't. And unfortunately, I do still have an account with that bank, but that's where they get you. Like, I've got all of the stuff tied to this account, and it's more work for me to try to close it than it's worth. At least at this stage of my life, the time's coming. Like there's a date where that account's getting closed.
It's funny, and like the problems have existed for a very long time. Anyway, I mean, it was probably 25 years ago. I got in a fight with my local bank when I was living in Atlanta.
Yeah.
About some issues. And like, man, I worked as an EMT in Atlanta. I got paid like $15,000 a year to work as an EMT in Atlanta.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of money in Atlanta, even in the late 90s, early 2000s. All right.
Yeah.
So, like, things were always tight for me.
Yeah.
And I got like multiple notifications of overdraft charges on a day that I had deposited money.
Yeah.
And so I went up and I was like, no, wait, I made this deposit this day.
Yeah.
So So
what
the
is
money
going
should have
on
gone
here?
in.
Yeah.
Like I gave you money. Money should have been credited, and then all these debits would have been fine.
Yeah.
But what they had done was that they debited all the they did all the debits first.
Yep.
And then every time a debit ended up with a negative number, they charged me an overdraft fee, and then they debited me an overdraft fee charge also.
On top of I don't
Yeah.
have money in here.
And then they put my money in at the end of all of that.
Oh man. And so you're left with all of these fees
Mm-hmm.
that you should have been good on had the money, because the money was you and I even had, like, the money was there, like.
And I hope that they regretted it, because I went in there around lunchtime,
Yeah.
which is when the bank was busiest.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't do this on purpose. Like, I thought that this was going to be like a really simple thing that I go
Yeah,
in.
once you
and it's
explain
like,
to them what happened, they'd be
yeah,
like,
they're
"Oh,
gonna
well, this
fix
is
all
our
this."
bad, and we're gonna."
Yeah, exactly. But that's not what they did.
Yeah.
And I made a scene
Yeah.
in that bank, and I made sure that everybody in that bank knew how they had screwed me
How
over.
you got screwed
Before, and that I was closing everything that I had with them and walking out with the rest of my money and would never deal with them ever again.
Yeah.
I made that very loud.
Yeah. It's funny, man. Like, we're not alone in this, because the bank we use for the company I work for, like, it's not unusual for somebody to come in and make that type of scene in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's usually an older person that's like doesn't have a whole lot of means, and just like what you're saying, like, all of these things have happened, and they feel like they're getting screwed, you
Yeah.
know. And they probably are. I'm not even saying that they're not.
Yeah.
Like, like, it's just a mess, man.
Well,
But like I was saying, there's nowhere else to go. I mean, you pick
Yeah.
another bank, but it's, you know, and I say all of that. I've had good experiences with with banks, mostly Compass whenever they're not around anymore.
yeah, exactly. I had the same, like, I had a fine experience with Compass, and then they were bought by PNC.
Yeah.
And I had accounts there for like a year and a half before I had enough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, because it's not the same. And like I say, because, I mean, I had a situation with some overdraft stuff that in
And
the
that's
end...
despite the hot girl that worked in Fairhope that I dealt with like over and over and over again.
Yeah, that didn't help.
I helped for a while.
Yeah, right. There's only so much you can put up with, though.
Exactly.
Well, and the thing
Like
is,
any other relationship.
there you go. And the thing is, with those fees, like, they can waive that stuff, because at least at Compass, like, there was I ended up with a mess with some money, which in the end had been their fault, but they waived all the fees with it and everything. Like, they were and they had done that multiple times for me. So I mean, it's not that they're not capable.
Yeah.
Which is the reason I always try to go in with a certain level of tolerance and nice. I always want to go in playing nice, because people will do more for you when you're nice.
Yeah.
When you're the good
Catch
guy,
more flies with honey.
yeah,
Blah, blah, blah.
it's the truth. But man, when it comes to banks, I hit my limit.
Yeah. Well, no, there comes a point where you can't play Mr. Nice Guy anymore.
yeah, exactly.
I'm sure there's some people that are listening to this that are like, yeah, that's what we would say about Trump with Iran.
Yeah, there are definitely people saying that right now. I believe that.
Now, I don't know that he ever played Mr. Nice Guy is the problem.
Yeah, it's a different situation though.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're talking last night. You missed the meeting.
Yeah.
But we were talking last night, and there's this thing. This is kind of tangentially related to what we're talking about now, but
Sure.
One of the guys was talking about special economic zones.
Okay.
Because he has a connection to Honduras, and one of my best friends does too.
Yeah.
And so there's a special economic zone on the island of Roatan that my friend has some property in, and this guy that I was talking to last night, like, there's some connection there with that. I don't remember exactly what it is, but
Yeah.
anyway, talking about, and there were issues with the Honduran government because they elected this socialist person, and they were trying to negate some of the agreements that had been made related to the special economic zone.
So the only thing I really know about these type of things is Herman Cain talked about that a lot during his presidential run.
Okay.
Having special economic zones and so the reason I'm curious to exactly what that is in this context, but I know for him, it was like you get all these kind of tax breaks and stuff to go into these like bad areas.
Well,
Is this the same type deal, or?
It does. Yes and no.
Okay.
It varies from nation to nation what these special economic zones are, but for the most part, what it means is that the government has set apart areas that they do what they should do in regards to economics, which is get out of the way.
Yeah, I mean that's more or less what Herman Cain was trying to do with his. So I was just trying to figure if that it was the same idea. Like with his, it was taxes. Like you got all these kind of tax breaks and different stuff for investing in certain areas.
Yeah, and there will be things that they reduce the requirements to form a business and like all these kinds of things. In most cases, the special economic zones are a designated area where the government does what it should do with relation to economics.
Okay, cool. I mean, I'd rather they do it everywhere, but
Exactly.
It's interesting that they recognize that as a tool.
Right, exactly. That's probably the most important point right there, is that the government recognizes that the best thing that they can do for the economy
Is get out of
is
the way.
not interfere with it.
Exactly.
So they set apart very special places and only limited areas where they do that.
Well, they do that. Exactly.
All right. Yes. Well pointed out. But what it got me thinking about problems with the economy generally and the need for stability. And we were talking about like all these moves that Trump makes, the truths.
Yeah.
Are we calling them that? What are we calling
That
them?
is what I think they're generally referred to as truths.
All right.
Which is very ironic coming
He's
from
he's like forcing that word
yeah.
where it doesn't apply. So anyway, posts on Truth Social. We're gonna be very specific.
We're gonna
and wordy.
clarify this, right?
Yes. Posts on Truth Social, and then speeches and so forth. Just general announcements that he makes that move the markets.
Yeah, and what you got to remember is Trump is very aware of this. It's not like he's just shooting around from the hip. I mean, he kind of is, but if there's anything that Trump understands, it's the markets.
Yeah. So there's been a question for a long time, is this corrupt, right? Is he making these statements that move the markets while the people that are on the inside know where they need to place their bets? And I maintain that, like, we don't know that.
We definitely don't know that, but
we hear about money moving in a positive direction, but they never talk about the money that moves in the other direction. Like if you know that Trump's going to make an announcement about the Strait of Hormuz, you know that you can either bet on oil or against oil.
Yeah.
Like those are the two things. So some people are going to bet on oil and some people are going to bet against oil, and it doesn't matter.
Well, I think where the corruption would come in, though, and I'm not saying I know this is happening or I don't, but the idea would be is that certain people Trump tells ahead of time.
Right.
It's like, hey, like this, I'm fixing to make this announcement. You know what to do.
Yeah. I mean, that's the accusation of corruption. And that's what they're trying to show you by saying, look at all these people that made millions of dollars on oil. Well, they don't even say specific people. There's just like millions of dollars were made on oil
on this move
before he made this announcement. And all these trades were placed just before he made the announcement. Well, he's about to make an announcement. Yeah. And so all I'm pointing out is that we don't know that there's any corruption.
No.
I'm not saying there isn't. I'm not saying there is. I'm just saying we don't know if there's any corruption because they only tell you about the positive swing, not the negative. There are a lot of people, I am sure, that invested the other way and lost.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, if you don't have the inside information, you're basically at the roulette table.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that there may be no inside information.
There may not be.
Right. So some are betting for, some are betting against, some win, some lose. Just how it goes.
Yeah.
All right. That's the only point I'm trying to make. I'm not throwing accusations out of corruption, and I'm not claiming that there is none. I just don't know.
Yeah.
And we only get information in one direction from the news because it's the news.
Because it's biased.
Yeah. So, now I got sidetracked on that, and I don't remember what it was that I was going to say.
I will say, it wouldn't surprise me that Trump would understand all of this and know that he can win favor with certain people by giving information and
Sure, that's true. And he is like certainly hyper conscious of the markets anyway. And he measures economic value by how the markets are moving.
yeah. And that's, I mean, like the whole circle we're playing with Iran, I think is nothing but that, is that Trump knows that if he doesn't keep the circle going, that the markets will crash. I mean, if we just stay heavy on Iran with the bombs and the whole 9 yards, for one, we can't sustain the bombs. I mean, that's pretty clear. So he knows that he has to do the circle, that he has to, hit them for a little while and then back off and let the markets recuperate and then go again. And that's just, I like, that's the best. And I feel like he's just doing that, trying to buy time.
Yeah. Well, it could be. I mean, that's just as good a theory as any other.
Yeah.
Really. What I was going to say, I guess, is that the things that markets need or businesses need, markets really, I guess is what I'm talking about. Markets need, in order to be prosperous, is reasonable stability
Yep.
or predictability.
By the way, businesses need both of those too.
Yeah.
I mean, they do.
Yeah, I'm trying to focus on one thing. That's why I
gotcha.
go to
Okay.
markets. All right. So you need stability and predictability.
Yeah.
And the problem that we have in both areas right now is predictability.
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to get.
Like, I guess there's some level of stability. I mean, the markets are still moving up generally.
Yeah.
Like on
Depending on where we're at in the circle.
yeah, right. Exactly. But on
the whole, though.
Yeah, in aggregate, markets are still moving up.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about, so I know somebody who owns a bunch of business around oil and mineral, like land rights.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, like the question becomes, all right, well, the value of oil is going up, like all these things are going up, so you must be doing pretty well now, right? Like, well, no. Because when I make my money, he says, is when people decide to drill.
Yeah.
And like then that's the point where I start making money, where business comes my way.
Yeah.
It's like, but what people need to decide to drill is stability and predictability, and we're not in that position.
No,
like the
not
value
at all.
of the oil may be high, the value of the minerals may be high, but they don't know what it's going to be. They have no idea what it's going to be in a month.
Yeah,
And
literally.
it's a substantial investment to start trying to extract it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it takes time too. Mm-hmm. Well, and that's the reason you don't want to. Well, oil's high right now, so we're going to make this investment, but like a month from now, it plummets.
Yeah.
And
We take complete control of the Strait of Hormuz by some miracle.
Right.
And
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. And then so you've made all this investment and you ain't even started pulling out of the ground yet.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it's already worth less than what you can make a profit on.
exactly. Exactly.
Without even paying back what you've already invested.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I just wanted to point these things out. And like one other thing that's worth pointing out here is that it sucks that the president has this much control over the markets, that by making these announcements or even just like posts on social media, he can move the markets in the way that he's capable of doing.
Yeah.
But he's not the only one.
Oh no. This is the reason I think that this is something that Trump probably is engaged in, at least on some level, is because they all do it. And all have done it.
Yeah. And the best example that I can give as a person, an individual who can make a single post or a single announcement and move the markets a huge degree is the Federal Reserve Chair.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like that guy comes out and like even the anticipation of an announcement about a change in the interest rates.
The rates, yep.
The markets move a tremendous degree.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
So it's not just Trump that has this kind of power. I do want to
Yeah.
I want people to be cognizant of that, because
Yeah.
like I understand the concerns about Trump. Like if there's reason to suspect corruption,
Yeah. Yeah.
but actually probably the Federal Reserve Chair has more power over the markets in a lot of ways than even the president.
I'd agree with that. And I mean, there's.
But Musk
mean-
used to do it, like
Yeah,
right?
I
Like
mean,
Elon
anybody
Musk
that
could
has-
move the markets with a tweet.
Yeah, exactly. It just goes to show how unstable all of this is. And I mean, then COVID proved this too with our supply chains. Like just COVID in the end was a big disruption, but it started as a small disruption, and I mean the whole thing just cascades into problems. All of this is kind of a house of cards.
Yeah.
And I don't know, we give too much power to too few to control it,
Yeah, and
or to influence it, I should say.
yeah, and the answer, of course, is to leave it to the free market. Like, take power of the economy out of the government. The government shouldn't be able to influence the economy in the way that it does,
Yeah.
because you can't expect it not to use that power to its own advantage.
Yeah. And the individuals to use that power to their own advantage.
Yeah.
So not just the greater government, but each person involved in each little bureaucracy
Yeah.
getting their little cut.
I mean, it's crazy. It's like giving the same guy the power to fund research and patent, like vaccines and stuff.
Yeah, right.
That would be crazy.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
That would also be how it works.
We could take a few minutes, or we can close this back up.
Well, what else you got? Anything? Anything else on your mind?
Well, okay. Yeah, kind of. We were sitting at the restaurant the other night and they had the WNBA on.
Yes, they did.
And it was the Indiana
Fever? Yeah, I'm sketchy on all of this.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, so somehow Sophie Cunningham is in the news for making the insane statement that women's sports should be reserved for players who were born female.
Yeah. That is an outrage at this point.
I know. It's and it's kind of unbelievable to me that this is something like the whole reason that. What's the W for in the WNBA? This is what I have to, and like what the thing that keeps coming up. I hear you. This cat has
No
been
way that's not coming through the mic.
so vocal recently. She's just she's needy, really, really needy. She's 15 though. She's like, I don't know what she thinks this accomplishes. It mostly irritates me, honestly. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted by this very, very noisy cat, pushing up against me and screaming.
Yeah.
Man, I hope that they can hear this.
I'm sure that's coming through. It has to be.
All right. So anyway, and the argument seems to rest on the point that in the collective bargaining agreement and the original charter of the WNBA, it doesn't specify what a woman is.
Yeah. Because I'm sure when they wrote it, they didn't think that there was going to be much argument about it.
Well, and that's kind of the thing. I don't know when the collective bargaining agreement was the most recent collective bargaining agreement. Man, I just hit some cables. I hope that wasn't really loud for everybody. Sorry. I don't know when the most recent collective bargaining agreement was signed, but when the WNBA was chartered, it was in the mid-90s.
I was going to say, it was in the 90s, yeah.
In the mid-90s...
We weren't arguing about who women were.
Exactly. The word woman meant biological.
Yeah. There wasn't a whole lot of dispute about it.
And the whole point of creating the WNBA was to create a space where...
women could compete.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the whole idea.
And so I'm just kind of blown away that this is
Well, I mean,
so controversial.
I'll go back to the last election when Trump was running, and like at the RNC and different. I mean, this came up a lot. Like not so much the WNBA specifically, but more with college. Like who was going to compete in women's sports in college and whatnot. And I mean, like it or not, like that was a big winning issue for the Republicans.
Yeah, it really was.
Because it was like you stand up there and listen to these to them make the argument that's like the most basic argument you've ever heard of why women's sports should be played by women. Like I mean it's
this is one of those issues where I really have trouble because I can't think of a logical way to take the other side.
it's hard. I mean, and there's people out there making the arguments. I mean,
well, not very good ones.
they're dumb. They're dumb. Are not the people. I mean, maybe the people are too, but the arguments are dumb.
Yeah. I mean, most of what I hear of arguments from the other side is that you just hate trans people.
Yeah.
Now, of course, Sophie Cunningham never said anything about that. What she said was that she thought that you should protect women and girls in sports by reserving women and girls sports for biological women and girls.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the crux of her statement. She's not making a
didn't call
value statement
anybody.
about trans people or whatever.
Yeah.
But it is a statement that I think that can be reasonably biologically supported by the fact that men who go through puberty have denser muscle, bone, different structure. Like, it's not the same.
Yeah.
They're not competing on the same level, which is why women's sports were created in the first place.
Right. This is not complicated.
Like, if it's really that big of an issue for you and you don't think that it matters, create an open division.
Yeah.
So we have the NBA, the men's NBA. We have, well, actually, the NBA kind of is an open division, honestly.
Yeah. I don't think there's nothing
there's
excluding women.
Yeah.
As far as I know.
I mean, there might be, but not as far as I know either.
And I grew up in the 90s and hung out with some female basketball players, and they all talked about the dream of playing in the NBA.
Okay.
Like, I mean, and that was like, I mean, I'm just going off like what was at the time. We're
I
talking
had that dream too.
Yeah. Right. Well, I never did. That was not my thing. Basketball wasn't my sport. But that was like, now the WNBA was very new at that time. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, maybe that was them just like, well, this is where I want to compete. I want to compete with the best,
Yeah.
But as far as I know, I mean, that's open for women. I mean, you just got to be good enough to be there.
To try and make the argument that it wouldn't shift the competition by allowing trans women into the WNBA is just absurd, though.
Yeah.
Historically speaking.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of examples like the Women's World Cup winning soccer team played and lost something like 8-2 to an under 15 national team of men, under 15 though. Like, this is the world champion women's soccer team lost to an under 15 men's soccer team.
Yeah.
There's the example of Serena Williams said that she could beat any guy that was outside the top 200.
Yeah.
So some guy that was ranked like, I don't remember, 206, 208, somewhere in there, played Venus and Serena back to back, beat them both like 6-2, 6-1, 6-1, 6-0, I think. And he'd gone and played golf and had a few drinks before he played them.
Oh, wow.
My own personal experience when I was playing junior varsity basketball in high school when I was, I don't know, a freshman or sophomore, I don't remember. No. We played against our, let's see, I think they were, I don't remember if they were quarterfinals or semifinals, but our women's high school basketball team had been quarterfinals or semifinals in the state.
Yeah.
And we played against them in a scrimmage and crushed them. It wasn't close.
Yeah.
And this is the JV team.
Yeah. So y'all weren't even the yeah. Wow.
So they came into that really arrogant about how they were going to crush us, and it did not work out that way. And they were really surprised. And Serena was really surprised in her tennis match too. Like, she walked off the court just like, whoa.
Yeah.
He hits the ball so hard. Yeah. there's a difference.
Yeah, there just is. Like it's simple biology. Like
And I actually got in a bit of an argument with ChatGPT today when I was like running some of this the gender stuff, because I was like, what is this deal with Sophie Cunningham?
yeah,
Because
right.
I didn't really know the background.
Yeah.
But it gave me both sides of the argument, as it does.
Yeah.
And then I responded that well, this is an absurd argument. Like, there's clearly a difference biologically and historically. Like, you can look at it both ways. I said, you can give me a human skull, an adult human skull, and I can pretty consistently, just from the skull,
Decipher the gender.
determine whether it's a male or female.
Yeah.
And then it gave me this thing back about, well, forensic anthropologists can often tell like the difference between a male and a female from the skeleton, but it's probabilistic, not determinate. And I was like, no, I did forensic anthropology.
Yeah.
Like, what you're saying, again, technically correct.
Yeah.
But the way you're stating it makes it sound like this is really a question. But the truth is that
It's not.
I mean, like, the accuracy that you can determine this thing is really high, especially once you start bringing in measurement, like actual, like, precise measurements.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Yeah.
And if I have a skull and a pelvis from the same person,
Yeah.
I bet you, even now, out of practice, like, it's been a long time since I've done this stuff, I bet I could still tell you 19 times out of 20 correctly whether it was male or female.
Yeah. Yeah. There's just a difference.
And it conceded to me, by the
Did
way.
it not?
Yeah, of course it did. Because it's telling you what you want to hear,
Yeah, exactly.
what it thinks you want to hear.
Yeah.
Which is, like, I'd been very neutral up until that point, so I
When you
guess
started
like
giving it
it
some
wasn't sure
pushback.
which side I was on, so it didn't know what to tell me.
Yeah.
Anyway. By the way, we could spend some time talking about AI. Maybe we'll do that. What is wrong with this cat?
Absolutely nothing. Like, yeah, it's just,
Okay.
she's gone nuts.
We need to talk about AI soon. Because I've been playing with it more than I had been. And I've been, like, doing some, like, very specific kind of tests
Yeah.
with it. And I'm not going to say it's useless.
Yeah.
That's strong.
Yeah. But
But it's not very useful.
You got it. Well, I mean,
It's like arguing with yourself. I mean, that's all it really does. It like tries to reflect yourself back at you.
Yeah.
And so, okay, it can help if you're trying to suss out some ideas that you have in your own head and test, like, maybe some of the weaknesses or whatever in your own arguments. But the truth is that it doesn't provide you anything new.
Yeah.
And it's really inconsistent.
Yeah.
Like, you can ask it the same question. Okay, so what I've been doing is that I have this old fictional short story that I wrote.
Yep.
And it had kind of laid dormant for a while. And I wanted to get back into it because there's a really good story in there. Like, I'm convinced that there's a really good story in there.
Yeah.
But it's like a subsection of a larger work that I was writing for a different purpose.
Yeah.
And so, like, I knew that there was a part of it that was like a really good standalone short story.
Yeah.
But I didn't know where to start and end it within the context of the original piece. And like I said, the original piece had a different purpose.
Yeah.
So changes need to be made, certainly. And I had just let it sit because it became too much of a, like, I read through it and, like, nothing stood out to me anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I'd read it too many times. I was too close to it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so what I started doing, and I don't have a paid account with any of the AIs.
Yeah.
So whenever I close the browser, it forgets everything.
Supposedly.
Well, yeah. But what that gave me an opportunity to do is that every day I would post the same section from the original piece in,
Yeah.
and ask it for a no nonsense critique. Like, I don't need my ego stroked. I was asking the question essentially the same way, not quite the same way, but the same points. I was making the same points every time and then posting the same piece.
Yeah.
And I would get wildly different responses.
Really.
Wildly different responses. And to the point where sometimes it would tell me that this particular section was the strongest part of it.
Yeah.
And then the next day it would tell me that exact same section was the weakest part of it.
And anyway, right, it was grabbing the same section and just
Well,
having
not
different...
necessarily. I'm just
Yeah.
like as an example though.
Yeah.
I mean, now there were some times where I was impressed with it where like if I fed it more and more, then it would actually kind of drill down into something interesting.
Yeah.
But I think that it's the value of it came not from the critique that it gave me, but rather the way it made me start thinking about it to like kind of make my own changes and update it the way that I felt. Like, you know, some of the recommendations that it made were just absolute crap. Like, okay, you don't understand the purpose of this because you have no human experience, right? Like, so you're doing this in terms of patterns, but that's not how you affect a reader necessarily. Like patterns can affect a reader. Anyway, I'm getting too far in the weeds with this. Anyway, I have been playing with this quite a bit, and I have formed some conclusions about some of the things that it's good at and some of the things that it's bad at and where its value lies. And one thing I will say, though, that is if you're a writer, this is not a useful tool unless you have just like lost your ability to look at your own work objectively. It will give you a place to start to look at your own work objectively. Like you can definitely use that as a jumping off point to assess your own work, but you do not need to trust its assessment. It's terrible.
I believe that.
So don't use it to write unless you've just gotten yourself completely lost and you need some kind of spark of things to start looking at. And I don't know. Anyway, it has been interesting though.
So these things aren't taking over anytime soon.
No. Well, I say that. The truth is that most people read crap fiction anyway. So it doesn't matter that much. You know, if you're an author, you are really kind of trying to, well, it depends on what kind of author you are. I suppose. I mean, like I would say that Stephen King is not a good author.
Well, his book sales would disagree.
That's kind of my point.
No, I get it. I get what you're saying.
That's kind of my point. I don't think that he's a great author, but apparently you don't need to be a great author to sell a lot of books. And maybe it's even better for you to not be a great author to sell a lot of books. Because the people that I think are great authors are generally not widely read or very well known. I mean, like there's exceptions just because they're old, you know, like, so Ray Bradbury, I think, is like one of the great authors. He's generally well known, mostly for Fahrenheit 451. But if you've read Fahrenheit 451, whether you liked it or not, I recommend you read Dandelion Wine because that book is great. This is a wonderful book and really beautifully written. Henry Miller. Now, he had the misfortune of like really upsetting censors all over the place in the 1920s and 1930s because he had some kind of, I mean, by modern standards, it's definitely not explicit material, but in 1920s and 1930s it was. But his prose is absolutely gorgeous. Like it is poetry in prose. And like you need to be fairly well read to understand him. Just because he makes all these references of older literature and mythology and all kinds of stuff. He was a very, very well educated guy. And so there's constant references to things that I'm having to look up, and I'm pretty well read. I've learned at least a dozen new words reading Henry Miller's stuff in my 40s. And like I don't generally have to sit with the dictionary next to me, but
Yeah.
He forces me to look stuff up. So anyway, but I don't think a lot of people read a lot of them, and it's people want something simple, I guess,
Yeah.
and that's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But AI can give you something simple.
Yeah.
But if you're critical at all, like one of the things another game that I have played with AI is tell me a story.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I recommend you try this actually.
Okay.
This is kind of fun.
Yeah.
So just that's your prompt.
Okay.
Tell me a story.
Tell me a story. Yeah. Yeah. Well, now tell them what I'm going to get.
And then you start critiquing the story
Yeah.
with the AI,
Yeah.
which is kind of fun because it does setups that don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's like trying to mimic some of these literary tools, but it doesn't understand their purpose.
Yeah.
So that's the best example I can give is like setups that don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, this is the kind of thing that is included in a story, so I'm going to include it too.
Yeah.
But it doesn't understand the purpose of it.
Yeah.
So it'll create a setup, but it won't give you a payoff
Yeah.
to that setup. So that'll become an irrelevant detail in the end,
Yeah.
which makes it just like an extraneous piece
I
of
was
information
gonna say,
that you just don't
I
need
mean,
at all.
Sounds
And
like a random word generator that's on steroids.
But the most interesting thing is that like you can get it to your side kind of on anything.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is really funny about AI is that that its real goal is to tell you what it thinks you want to hear.
Yeah.
And so like you can tell it to be like brutally critical of your work and it'll tell you something like, well, you know, this doesn't work or this is for whatever reason. And you can say, well, my reason for including it was blah, 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 blah. And
Oh,
it's
well,
like,
that's great.
well, and it'll go, well, knowing that, that changes my assessment.
Yeah. Now I know you want to
Now
hear
I-
that this was good.
Now I think that this was a really important inclusion
Yeah.
in
Right.
your story. I don't know. It's hilarious.
Gotta love it, man. They're taking over. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, you know, you got people like Musk that are saying it's going to be essentially the government in 20 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And oh, please no. Hasn't anybody seen iRobot?
Yeah. I did.
Yeah. Should read the book too. That's another.
Another good read.
Yeah, way different. Like the iRobot book is a collection of short stories actually,
Yeah.
not like a single
Not like
continuous
one big
story like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would say that the story that most of the movie is taken from
Yeah.
has the completely opposite point that the movie settles into.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. Let's close out. We're talking about nothing now, really. I mean, I
Oh
think
no,
these,
you just gave a pretty good book recommendation.
I think these things are important. Like this is maybe this is what the podcast is going to become as I get more frustrated with the news. It's just going to become a literary review.
Oh yeah.
I read enough. I feel like I could do this. So it might have to be just twice a month instead of every week. Although I do generally average about a book a week.
Yeah.
But it's not all fiction.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, the podcast can definitely evolve some, though. I mean, we've talked for a while about evolving away from news and into more like libertarian theory type thing. And I mean, maybe that's what we need to do. I mean, I don't want to walk away from news completely, but maybe that's the right solution here is to just kind of shift gears a little more towards that type of thing.
yeah, that doesn't take any less research. That's at least more interesting, though.
Yeah. And it's something different.
Yeah.
So
Well, okay.
that could be our second half of show.
All right, audience. What do you guys think? Like, if you were going to change the focus of this show in some way, small amount or large amount, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What would you like to hear more of, I guess?
Yeah.
What would you like us to spend time on? Or how would you, like, if it was your show or you were producing it and you had us the talent,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, we need to evolve this show into something slightly or radically different. What would you do with it?
I'd be interested to hear.
Yeah. Michael at thelibertymike.com. That's a good place to send those things. You can also post it on Facebook or as comments on any of our other platforms, which is iTunes, YouTube, Podbean.
Yep.
And yeah, that's all the stuff.
Yes.
We will not be here next week.
Oh, that's right.
Because I am traveling.
It's a good thing we got in today then, because
yeah.
Because I'm not available the rest of this week to have done it anyway. So
yeah, I'm going to be traveling, not the entire time, but enough that we're not going to be able to meet up.
I gotcha.
And so we will be.
So we're really hitting the bi-weekly thing.
yeah, it's already becoming that, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I don't know, 26th, 27th anyway. Like the last week of August we'll be back.
Okay.
In the meantime, you can follow us on Facebook. You can subscribe on iTunes, YouTube, Podbean. Like and share, comment, subscribe. We'd like to hear like what you think we should do with the show if we're going to change it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm really interested because I need a new direction.
Yeah.
I kind of need a new direction.
For me, I don't think we should abandon news completely, but I do think we should make that a top of the show thing, and then have.
You're influencing the responses.
I am in the way I want to. But yeah, like second half of show, like how should we kind of to run that, you know? So because I think we need to broaden into something else. The news is just so depressing. I hate focusing,
and it
on
feels so repetitive right now.
Yeah, well, and that's the other thing, and I think it's going to be like this for a while. I don't see anything changing anytime soon.
Yeah.
Although we got 2 weeks, maybe things we may come back to a whole new world. God, I hope not. Last time that happened, it was COVID. So
that's fine. I recently reread Brave New World.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. I should have written the book that I thought it was.
Yeah.
Because like it's been 30 years probably since I read it.
Yeah.
And the book that was in my head under the label Brave New World
was
is
not
the book that I read.
That's funny.
I don't know if it was influenced by something else or if it had just my
your
memory
brain
of it had
evolved
evolved over the years into something completely different. But now I'm like, man, I should have written this other sci-fi novel that I had labeled Brave New World before I reread Brave New World.
Well, now you got a book idea.
No, because I don't remember now. It's been overwritten.
Okay. You've done overwrote it.
yeah. Label's still there.
Yeah.
Different content.
New content. Yeah. Old content's gone.
Exactly. All right. So we'll be back in a couple of weeks, though, when we finally get this right. And in the meantime, try to stay free.
Life short, live free.
Ciao.
Later.